My name's Zach Martinucci. I'm the founder and a baker at Rebel Bread. I introduce myself as being a culinary anthropologist, which means I love telling stories over food, about food, and through food. Kind of the background there is I grew up in San Francisco in a family that loved to cook and eat. None of us were professionals or anything, but grew up around the table. I went to UCLA and studied culinary anthropology, which is like food culture, culture through food. Did field work in Italy and loved reading and writing and talking about food, and also wanted to cook about it, so to speak. And my dad's cousin around that time opened a bakery near where we grew up in San Francisco. So I got to go learn to make sourdough with him in a cast iron at home with the sourdough starter, like everyone's been baking during quarantine. And I loved it. Went back to LA and was baking a bunch of bread and selling it to neighbors and baking flavored loaves of bread based off my friends' personalities. So he recommended I go to baking school. I went to the San Francisco Baking Institute for Professional Bread and Viennoiserie, which is like coffee shop pastry. And then moved here pretty quickly after to open Rebel Bread with a friend from elementary school. We shared a kitchen for a while. So what we do is meant to be a mix of bringing artisanal bread and pastry day to Denver, and also sharing the culture and stories and education behind it. Well, I don't know if this is taken. I feel like I'm the young one. I usually am in a room, right, which has its trade-offs. So I'm 25 years old. I've been in this a couple of years. I know a lot of the students are older than me as well. Um, so I don't come to this cohort with like the lifelong business experience and wisdom and all of the technical knowledge that is available and that students also need in mentorship. I hope that my story can be like relatable, and I can speak what it's like to become an entrepreneur pretty quickly after graduation, and the challenges that presents, and also like the unique opportunities you have as a young person taking on a business. So that's, both as a source of support, as well as if I can provide any perspective to help young people navigate entrepreneurship. That's what I really hope to be able to add to this group. March 17th, we lost 90% of our business overnight, and we serve cafes and coffee shops, and they all were mandated to close. And so by the end of that week, so that was like a Monday or Tuesday, by Friday, we launched a home bread delivery program, which we'd already kind of played with before COVID, but there were something like 5 people signed up, like ever, and now there were hundreds that first week, and the community was really supportive to buy bread directly from us for delivery. Delivery, of course, was much more important a few months ago, as well as for pickup. And we're continuing that. It's called our Bread Club. So it's a subscription bread program that we do, like a wine club, like a cheese club, something like that, but for weekly or biweekly bread. Um, and that's become just like one of the ways in which we've had to diversify. So we're not only selling wholesale to coffee shops. It's still part of what we do. We have that bread club. We have the farmers markets, and have some other styles of wholesale accounts as well. So essentially, COVID forced us to diversify our revenue, like strictly speaking, but just the ways in which we do business. Um, it's gone as well as it could have. Like I know this pandemic has wreaked havoc on a lot of things, so I'd hate to see like we've come out better because of it, but it's not entirely the case. But a lot of the change has been good for us. It's definitely more change than I would have like chosen to do in a matter of 2 months if I had had the choice. But since we were forced into it, we just kind of had to go with it. Um, and we're now figuring out what that new version of the business looks like because of it.